All right, y'all. Welcome back. It's been a very, very long time. I know. Things happen, life happens. You already get the gist. So, but hey, we back. We trying to, continue what we was doing before. Make progress. Um, yeah. Right now, I'm just eating my meal number 4. But yeah, I want to get back into, back to where I was, back to lifting, back being consistent, you know, etc. All them type of things, all that good stuff. But first and foremost, first thing I want to say is that a few goals that I want to bring back, into my life is that bringing down weight and getting lean this year. So, and being consistent, posting more on all my platforms. So I want to get back into that. It's been like maybe three and a half years since I've been like consistent and posting. So, but I ain't really beat myself up about it. And I know things happen. So, and it was for the better, But it's hot. But yeah, we what's today? June 1st. So I just decided, it's been on my mind. I just decided that, it's been heavy on me that I really, really want to get back dialed into this and, get on a routine and a plan and, being consistent to being and getting back fit as I possibly can. So that's where we at. We starting off with this. I'm 240 as I speak. I weighed myself this morning. There's gonna be a previous video of me, waking up, getting all my meals in. I got I'm starting off with 4 meals a day. That's where we're gonna start, just to get a gist at where we at. We're gonna start off at like 2,100 calories per se, and about and within those calories gonna be about 224 grams of protein. So that's what we're looking at. If I need to adjust it a little bit, I'm gonna adjust it. If I need to, decrease it a little bit, I'm gonna decrease it a little bit. But I think that's what we're gonna start off with. We're gonna start off about 21 to 2,200 calories, and within those calories, we're gonna do 224 grams of protein. So we're gonna split that up within 4 meals throughout the day. Yeah. So that's where we at. So if you're seeing this and if you wanna join, I'm gonna most likely be consistent in posting. Mainly on YouTube and TikTok. I have an Instagram, Facebook, but I really, don't use the really platforms for this. Maybe in the future I will, But yeah, I'm gonna be posting what I'm eating. I may do some workouts, mainly on my TikTok. That's why I mainly put my workouts is on TikTok. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, go ahead and look at my workouts or look at what I do. I ain't gonna post all of it, I'm gonna post some of it. Time consuming. We all got jobs, so I'll be trying to get in and get out, but get a good workout. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that. Make sure I get all my meals in every day, each day. Post some of that, So like right now, my meal 4, just 7 to 8 ounces of salmon. You got your cup of vegetables. I'm supposed to have carbs, but I'm gonna get that later. So, and I'll be finished off the day. So yeah, that's where we at. I can't wait to show y'all some things that I'm working on. Can't wait to post them. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting journey, but it's gonna be worth it. You know, it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth everything. So I don't know what the future holds. You know, 5 years from now, you know, you may be looking at a future pro, or you know, just a little something. But yeah, that's my goal. So if I get dialed into like I want to, and get that look where, you know, I think is competitive, I'm gonna just go for it. You know, I don't got nothing to lose. I don't think anyone have nothing to lose as far as that. So yeah, I'm gonna eat, get some good night's rest, and repeat. Same stuff, just a different day. You know, it's been a long time since I've done this. You know, but I never had a problem doing this, like eating the same meals. You know, taking my time with making sure I hit almost every macro to the exact number. So I done it in the past, about 3.5 years ago. So it's always been in me. No, it's like it's never left me. It's always been in me, but I just never brought it out. I say, nah, who cares? I don't care. I don't feel like doing it. But now I'm just like, what if I really were to like get back into that groove and dial in and go even harder than before? You know, and like, I don't know what the outcome would be. So, and that's always been on my mind. Like, what if I were to do this? Where would it lead me? So, and that's with anything, really. That's just in general in life things. So, good or bad. So, I don't know, I'm gonna take it day by day. Meal by meal, and you know, workout by workout. Cardio too. Cardio. I'm thinking about 40 to 60 minutes per day. Now, don't get me wrong, it sounds a little extreme. It's going to be extreme, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult and hard, especially if you're like a beginner, or if you're like me, you know, getting back into that groove. You know, you don't fell off, and now you bringing it back. It's going to be very difficult. It ain't going to be easy. It's going to be challenging. But that's the whole point of the journey. You don't want it to be easy. Anything easy, everyone can do it. Anyone can do it. So not everyone can do that. That's why it's hard and challenging, and it gets to you mentally. So, but you gotta want it. So you gotta want it bad enough. You gotta be hungry, basically. So if you don't want it bad enough, you ain't gonna get the results you looking for. And that was boiled down to it. To anything. So, cardio. So, and you can actually split it up a little bit. You can do fasted cardio in the morning, 30 minutes, and in the evening, another 30 minutes or 20 minutes. And you don't necessarily have to do a treadmill. You know, if you were to do a treadmill, I would recommend that you do it on an incline, and at a speed at your pace. But like a momentum speed though. Make sure you're moving. Make sure you get that heart rate up. And you do the Stairmasters, but Stairmasters, that's a whole different level. Definitely not for beginners. Or per se more for those who been there and done that and is trying to come back. I say those Stairmasters for them. But you can also do the bike. 30 minutes that, and then later on 30 minutes, split it up. But if you can knock it out 60 minutes and just one session, then by all means you got it. But for those who just beginning and coming back, I recommend you split it up so it won't be too harsh on you or your body or mentally. I ride my bike to work occasionally, so it ain't really much. It does about like 5 minutes bike ride, 5-6 minutes, but it's getting me going. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's a drive. I feel good afterwards. Ride my bike, got a little hill after I get off of work. Going up a hill, it's a struggle. Just a little slight hill, but in the mornings it's like a cool ride. But I still have to pedal and do all that. But I'm still getting my 60 minutes in. Do that, get my meals in, get my workout in. And that's about it. The goal is, I don't know if I said it, but the goal is to lose 40 pounds. So that will leave me at 200 pounds. Now, the most I ever weighed, not the most I ever weighed, but the way I felt my best was like 190, if I can remember correctly. It was like 190, 198 per se. But that was with me doing cardio and doing this, like consistent. And getting, taking all my vitamins, and just having that hunger, that dog in me. So yeah, that's my goal. And I don't want to really put a stamp on when I want to have it done by, because I actually want to take my time, like give it to, like, I start today, and however long it takes me to lose a pound. A pound, how long it takes for me to lose a pound, that's the rate I'm gonna go at. As long as I feel like, as long as you see progress throughout the week, then you're on the right track. You make sure you weigh every morning. I would recommend that, because that's when you like at your driest. So that's like, not really full of water per se. I know for me, speaking for me, I don't really wake up, feeling like, I'm really hydrated just yet. So I weigh myself, take notes, and get my first meal in. I know some people ain't morning people or breakfast people, but if you truly want it, then you have to push for that, and then so on and so forth. But yeah, I don't really want to put a date like I want to start here, then this is what I want to be at. Like, I must be this weight at this time of day or month. So now I can say the goal is from June to like August, 3 months, that I definitely want to be at least half of what I weigh now, like what I want to lose. So I'd be like 220 or possibly less than that, but the main goal is to start somewhere and just to make sure that you have progress that to get what you're going. You don't want to start now, then like a month from now, you still like at the same weight that you started off with. Like then that's when you're like, okay, something has to change. So then you go from there like, okay, let me, increase the protein, increase my vegetables, and do less carbs, or increase my cardio, that type of stuff. Because that's what ultimately leads. You want to burn fat, but if you want to keep muscle, then you have to eat, pretty much cut out less carbs. So that's where we're at. Food getting cold. So yeah, you post consistently, and if you want to join, I'm not gonna post like any of my macros because I don't believe in, if someone wants to tag along, they gotta copy exactly where I'm coming from. Now you can follow along and like I ask questions or I give you advice, but I set my goal based off what I know and what I know my body needs and don't need, basically. So as I said, I'm starting off with 2,100 calories, and within those 2,100 calories is going to be about 224 grams of protein. So then from there, at me looking at my results, we're gonna see whether we need to, increase, the cardio and, take away some more carbs, or, wherever we land at. So I'm gonna basically like go based off of week from week, basically like how bodybuilders do check-ins with their coach. I'm gonna check in with, I'm gonna say y'all. I'm gonna check in with y'all, like, yeah, this is where I'm at, showing progress. And, checking with myself every morning, be like, okay, we're being consistent, we're seeing results. I would much rather, not to get off topic, I would much rather see results in the mirror versus, looking at the scale all the time. That scale can get to you mentally if you believe it or not. So you can be lean, all ripped up and cut, and get on that scale and you just think like, I'm 1 pound over where I want to be, and I can get to you like, but you look good, you look phenomenal. But then when you step on that scale, you're like, dang, I'm 1 pound, dang. It just get to you. So, I would much rather, do what I'm doing consistently and visualize and look at myself like, okay, I'm seeing progress. Then like, step on the scale and it's like the icing on the cake. So you just want to keep up with both, So, and if you are like, back, say if you like for the first week you lose 1 pound, right? But then that next week come and you step on the scale and you're like, dang, I was just at this weight last week, and then you're back right there. Don't get discouraged, because it may happen. But And it's not like a bad thing or anything. Just know that you're on the right track and you got to push a little harder, you know. Because as perfect as we want to be, especially if it's your first time or it was like you like me getting back into it, it's not going to be perfect. I'm just be honest. It's not going to be like that, you know. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be challenging. It's never gonna be like it's never gonna be like 1, 2, 3. You know, it's gonna be a time where you miss a meal, you gotta get it in. There's gonna be time where you miss half of your cardio day, and you gotta make up for that. It's gonna be something that throws you off track, but the main goal is to find your way back on track, you know, and get after it, you know. And there's gonna be days when you don't feel like working out. So anything can happen, but as long as you stay focused, set yourself a goal, and dial into that goal, and just do your best, whatever it is, you know. And just make sure you're keeping up. Like, okay, this is where I was at. This is how I'm feeling. You know, take some pictures. So you guys see what you ate, etc. And just go from there. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure you get some sleep. And it's hard nowadays because, you know, as human beings, we attempt to work, you know, more than your average hours. So I understand I've been there and done that, you know, before I even thought about getting serious into weightlifting and like bodybuilding. You know, working 2 jobs, it was hard to like get meals in and, you know, work out, get cardio in, you're stressed out. You don't feel like going. You want to hang out with the guys. You want to go out. You want to eat this, eat that. So it's not easy. I definitely would say from experience that this right here can be a selfish sport in a way. If you think about it, you know, it's very time consuming. It takes up all your time from family, friends, your loved ones. But like anything else, that you're chasing, it can be very rewarding too. So, and that's the gist of it. You know, whether you're doing it for health, whether you're doing it for, you know, self-improvement, you know, whether you do it just to look good, self-improvement, you know, but it's still, at the end of the day, very time consuming. Anything that you pour your time into to better yourself or to better anything can be considered as selfish, you know. That's the way I look at it, so. And it's okay, you know. Especially if you have the right people in your corner. You know. It gets better. I mean, it's gonna be easy. It gets better, but you know, just stick to it. Keep going. Keep making them changes as you grow, as you go and grow, and you will see the results that you want to see. Then from them results, you can either, you know, fall back a little bit, you know, not too much, but relax, then get after it again, you know, because that's where I'm at. Like after I reach my goal within like 3 to 4 months, I want to then like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with step 1. Plan 2 is size improvement. You know, that you do bulking, they say, like bulking, and so I haven't really gotten into that aspect of, you know, work bodybuilding, so I don't really know how that goes. But the more I go and grow, the more I'm gonna learn, and it's not gonna be perfect, but that's what I want to do. Get locked into losing that amount of weight, then, because I am going to lose it. That's, you have that mindset too. Like, I am going to lose it, and I am going to be fit, look good, and feel better. You gotta have that mindset. Like, you are going to do those things, and you already claimed it. Just claim it. You know. And then once that happens, go from there. You know. I can see it already. You know, me just looking lean, fit. And after that, you know, getting a plan to, you know, get size, whether it's on my, like, I got big arms already. Like, I wouldn't want too much more size, so my body won't look unproportionate. So I'll put more size on my legs, of course. That's everyone can always improve their legs, but yeah. That's the gap of today. It's Monday, June 1st, 8:26. So just finished up. Well, I still got a little bit, my fourth meal, so I'm about to wrap it up, get into bed, and start all over. And I think to keep myself accountable, that'd be the last thing, but to keep me going and to keep me locked in to do more videos like this, Mondays or at the end of each week, you know, like on Sundays or something like that. So, yeah. So, yeah. Just be on the lookout, you know, for more videos, more entertaining, more of what my goal is. You want to tag along? I would love, you know, for you to tag along. You know, may not be exactly where I'm at, but probably could be better. But ain't nothing wrong with, you know, me learning from one of y'all or anybody, and, you know, or you learning from me. You know, it's good to work like that. You know, not everyone knows everything, so it's good to have a lot of input on certain things. You know, our goals may not be the same, but I can teach you something that you may not know, or to improve something. And, you know, I can learn from anyone that, you know, this will help me in the long run, or, you know, in the future, or, you know, tomorrow I can use whatever knowledge that was given, you know, anything. So that's a goal too. If I can just reach out to, if it's just one person, you know, whether they need help, you know, what should they do, or where should I start? That's like mostly the main question, you know, for beginners, or if you're trying to get back into it, you know. And so, and I had that question too, before I even thought about, you know, lifting. Like, how do I start? As in, how do I eat right? Or how should I lift? How much weight should I lift? How many exercise I should do per lift, per muscle group, you know, etc. All those little things and little details matter as I'm learning, as I'm getting deeper into it, is like those questions that I had in the beginning, I can somewhat answer it for myself because I'm, watching and learning from other people. So, and I remember me having a question like, dang, what should I do? And I would join live videos on Instagram or TikTok, and just ask questions, or ask bodybuilders like, where should I start, or how to grow this and how to grow that, and I just go from there. And so I just locked in one day, like, okay, I'm gonna come up with a plan, do this workout, this many reps, eat this, eat that, take this amount of creatine, take this amount of protein, do this amount of cardio, and like, you just so happen to think back, you like, holy crap, that actually worked. Like, that actually worked for me. And you're like, dang, I would never thought that just me, just starting out or just trying something and see how it works, and just, do it consistent, then in the long run, 3-4 months from now, you're looking at yourself and you're like, okay, this is working. This is actually working. Like, what they told me to do is working. Then you just continue to do that. Then you adjust it a little bit in your own way. You get the knowledge. You do your research. You just go from there. And so that's basically where I'm at. I took everything that someone told me and what I researched, read and did all that, and now I'm like, okay, I had a little minor setback, but the comeback is gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? It has to be different, because you're not new to this. So it's like, yes, you starting all over, but you get the gist. You get where you need to be. You know where you need to be, or where you want to be. And most of all, you know where it takes. You know what it takes. So, yeah. All it takes is effort. All it takes is effort. If you just try to better yourself, you just try to give in to that aspect of life, or just anything, you're gonna get the results you want. Like they say, prayer without work is dead. So if you have a goal and you ain't do nothing to, work towards that goal, what you expect the outcome gonna be? Nothing, right? I mean, you ain't doing no work. You ain't eating your meals. You ain't doing your cardio. You're not, lifting the appropriate amount of weight. So what you expect gonna happen? Nothing. No, don't get wrong. You don't necessarily have to. I'm gonna say that. That's something new I learned. Even if you just focus on this right here, these meals, and it just go from there. Like, you just, if you're not really sure how to work out, or if you're afraid to work out, you're afraid you're gonna mess up something. If you start right here with this, it will make everything else come easy at a pace that it's gonna be challenging, but at the same time, it's like, you got this, because you got this down first. Like, that's the most challenging part, is getting meals in, whether you're thinking or not. Like, the hardest part is eating consistently and making sure that you're eating all your meals. Then once you get that down, it's like, it's like baby steps. You learn, you gotta crawl before you walk. So I would say, get this dialed down, like, to the nail, like to the ounce. to the gram. Find out what you need to do as far as these meals for your body, for the right amount of protein, the right amount of carbs, the right amount of vegetables. Nail that down first. Then as you figure out and go on, it'd be easier if you be like, okay, I got this down. Now it's time to move this to how to work out certain muscle groups, because it's really all about what you eat and how you eat. But you can really eat anything. But you don't really want to eat anything. You want to eat all the good stuff. It's okay to have some meals or like a day where you like, I'm tired of this. I've been dialed in for a long time. I want to get away from this and get a taste of something different. So, and I believe that's like okay to do, but it depends on how you do it. Like maybe once a month, once every 2 months. So it's gonna be hard. So yeah, it's good. It feels good to know that this is something I've been wanting for a long time, and to get back in, really, to know what it takes, to know what it feels like, and to know what the outcome can be. Like before, I was just lifting and doing whatever for me to feel good, mentally, physically, etc. Then I actually went far as getting me a coach, because I was like, I can really take this to the next level, but I wanted more knowledge, and I wanted that push. Someone always want to feel like someone is pushing them. It's hard to be mentally, in it alone sometimes, but majority of the time, that's what you really need is a self-drive, but also, someone that's willing to push you and, tell you, hey, do this, do that, ain't nothing wrong with that, And so that's how far as I went, about 3 years ago. And so, I learned from that, and now I'm bringing what I was doing back in 2021, 2022 into now, and I believe and I know that the knowledge that I gathered, I don't know everything, but I know where to start. And so with that, I know I can take that and run with it and just be something great, be something good for it, and look forward to. So yeah, man, that's it. That's it. That's the game plan. So if you watching this, seeing this, and want to follow, support, I love it. Got any questions or any advice, you can leave a comment, leave a message, my TikTok, Instagram. But yeah, that's my goal, and from 3 months from now, I'm gonna be looking at this video and be like, I was right, I really want it, and I got it. That from there, it's gonna be something different, more improvement. It only get better from where you go. I always think like you never want to be in the same position or same spot, as where you were. Once you get to that level, you're like, okay, make some changes, make some better changes. Don't just sit there. As you have more potential than you think. That's what I always tell myself. You got here. Now, what's next? You know, you can do anything. You know, and so that's you got just have that type of mindset. And I actually wish I had that mindset early on. Like anyone has what it takes to do and be anything, really. Like, even if you don't feel like it or think it's possible, you can. You really do. So I feel like I have the potential to be a pro bodybuilder at a elite level. You know, but it's gonna take some rough days. You know, some hard times. But that's what I expect, and I want it to be hard. You know, I want to do something hard. You know, I don't want anything easy. You know, as men, we shouldn't want anything easy in life. You know, do something hard, do something challenging. You know, so there's something like what I want now. It's challenging, but it can be done. Personally, that's what I personally want. So, and everyone might not be a fan of it, but you know, at least at the end of the day, I will be happy. You know, happy I did this, happy I did that, happy I achieved this. You know, happy I'm posting consistent, happy I'm making this video. So, yeah, it's just all, you just gotta start somewhere. Start somewhere, be consistent. Don't give up, don't give in. And yeah, just have the right people in your corner. If you don't have nobody, just make sure you just keep yourself accountable. You know, you don't really have to have people in your corner. You know, but it'll be nice. But you know, not everyone's the same. But yeah. So with that being said, I'm in this video. I'll probably do another one next week or so. It's Monday, so but I'll be posting more of what I'll be eating. There'll be probably a lot of same videos, a lot of the same content, a lot of the same meals, a lot of the same workouts. But that's the goal. It's like you gotta be consistent. You know, that's the main goal. Consistency. So consistent. Then it's like almost at the end of every we have a meeting. You know, you have a game plan for this week. Then before the next week start, like okay, y'all, this is what we doing. This is where we at. You know. So and that is like a good idea. So you won't feel like you have to like make sure that you know you talk to who's watching. Like make sure you get the video. You're gonna get the video out there, but you ain't gonna really do much of this. You know, this could be done every weekend or every Monday. So it's like make sure you do it. You know, once a week. But also after that video you do once a week is more videos leading up to that. You know what we're doing now to that next one. Basically, what I'm saying. So that's what I feel like will work best for me. You know, and for me to be consistent. So, yeah. But other than that, I'll see y'all in the next video. I hope that I reach someone out there that's wanting to do the same thing. You know, get back on track, get fit more than ever. Yeah, you know, make some life-changing moments, improvement, you know. So, I'll see you in the next one. King K out.